Come on! Put your hands up, everybody. I don't know what this is.
CEO of Google DeepMind steps down.
What? Holy shit. What's his name again? What is it?
Demis Hassabis.
Oh, wait, we're live. Sorry.
Three, two, one.
I think people can hear you speaking, actually. Welcome to Choose Rich Live. He's doing a countdown. Ray, the producer, the greatest producer in the world, is doing a countdown. And I think y'all could hear him. Let me know in the comments if you can hear all that background chatter. Pretty certain that you can.
I definitely can.
Welcome to Choose Rich Live, the greatest show on X, the second greatest show on YouTube, the basically one of the best places that you should tune into when you're looking for information in the technology world, in the financial world, especially with crypto and AI. That's where we're operating most of the time. If you're new to the show, which you're probably not, but if you're new to the show, welcome. We have a bunch of things to discuss today. Holy shit. We have stories flying left and right. It's kind of difficult to determine which one we start with, if I'm being completely honest, but I'm going to follow Ray's show notes. We'll do some rapid fire because is the NFT market story in there?
No, we can throw that in wherever.
I mean, maybe we start with that. You want to pull up the tweet on this one? We
I've
have
got the
breaking news.
I've got the press release.
Okay, well, let's pull it up. Maybe, and if you shrink the width of your screen or that window slightly, I think it'll go up, not by zooming, but by literally making the window.
I'm not adjusting the window. It's going to stay maximized.
What? Okay.
It doesn't work like that on my when I adjust window sizes on mine. It doesn't.
I'm betting you're wrong, but okay, dude. Okay.
You just have like a weird little window.
Well, it looks weird right now. I'll tell you that much. It looks like there's two black bars.
And you want me to do this?
No. Oh, when you make the width, it stays at that height? Look at that. Look at how that's working. Look at what's happened. We saw some progress. You make it slightly skinnier, the width of the window, slightly skinnier. Ooh,
well, I'm gonna make it so now I'm like 100%. I'm like half of my window.
Just make it
this
slightly.
Window for ants. You want to make it even skinnier?
Yeah, make it skinnier. Boom. Hey, everyone in the comments, shout out to everybody. Let them know. Let Ray know that he did it. He did it. He got that perfect size.
I've got this chrome.
Size.
I got this chrome window with like little tiny tabs. And Nick's not even here.
You cut out also at the same time.
Weird. I got this chrome window that's only half of my 24-inch monitor with these little tiny tabs that I can't even see what's going on anymore. But you know what? We don't have those black bars, so let's go.
Okay. NFT startup founder charged with fraud. This came out of the Department of Justice. There's rumors and speculations of where this came from. What was the source? According to our sources right now, it's coming from a developer on Near Protocol, who launched an NFT marketplace, got $8.5 million, and basically gambled away all $8 million as he traveled the world. He was based in Miami, and understandably, he was a scammer. What's going to happen here? A lot of us are trying to figure out. So Taj Tarsha is his name. If you pull up the X trending on X right now, Ray, but I know you can't
Barely
do
see
that because you have tabs
experience.
all over. And
You got disconnected again.
I'm not disconnected.
Weird. Is it just me?
Yeah, I think it was experienced for you. Just keep plowing forward, and send me a chat if it happens for longer than. Give it like 10 seconds. How long was I gone for?
4 seconds at most.
Yeah. So let it stew. We can ask the oh, it was gone for me. Someone said, and it was gone. It wasn't just for Ray. Look at that. Mad perfect. I did not. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. There's literally nothing I can do about that. So, Ray, next time it happens, start like tap dancing.
All right. Hold on. What do you want to bring up on trending?
Taj
Tarsha found it.
Yeah. Taj Tarsha charged with defrauding investors of $10 million, not $8 million. 34-year-old Miami resident Taj Tarsha, founder of Few and Far, for securities and wire fraud after he allegedly raised over $10 million from 67 investors via SAFs starting in February 2022, instead building the promised decentralized NFT marketplace and FAR token. Instead of, Tarsha diverted funds to personal expenses. Okay, this is not. So this isn't about NFTs. Basically, what's happening is the situation is that he defrauded investors. Yeah, which is that's
Par for
not a
the
good
course.
thing. Yeah, like you kind of don't want to do that. So that's a pretty wild thing that you're going to just straight up defraud investors. That's like a crazy circumstance. Yeah, that's a crazy situation. But here we are. Shout out to Taj Tarsha, one of the greatest scammers of all time. And
I've got the NFT marketplace if we want to view it here. Here it is. This is the Few and Far NFT marketplace. Server error 500.
Whale.swoosh saying, I know who this is about. I'm about to quote tweet it. Bro's acting like it's good that he knows who the scammers are.
Also, the press release was out 2 hours ago.
Well, did it name Taj in the press release?
Yeah.
Oh,
Justice.gov.
okay. Well, that's kind of weird. Look, this is a crazy situation. If we have updates, you know that we are first to covering the breaking news in the markets. Let's dive into the top stories, Ray. We're going to dive right in. S&P 500 closed Tuesday at 7736, a new all-time high, adding approximately 1.2 trillion in market cap in a single session, and it continues to surge. Good thing that Ray and I bought put options that are now completely worthless. I'm going to buy more of them, I think, actually, if they're worth like a couple cents. You know, let's put $100 into it. Also, actually, before we dive into it, maybe we bring up Hammyverse. We'll do it after this story. So cue that up, Ray.
Yep.
And we'll dive into this. The Dow crossed 54,000 for the first time ever, surging more than 900 points, while West Texas Intermediate crude oil settled at 75.77, down 5.7%, on optimism that U.S. and Iran may be close to a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Some people call it the Strait of Hormuz. I call it the Strait of Hormuz. The Straits of Hormuz, not the gays. After early gains today, the S&P has since flipped negative and is trading below yesterday's close. Look, the S&P flipped negative.
It was right before the show. It's now back about even, plus 0.06% right now on the day.
Dude, I think this is a moment. I'm gonna do it live on air, right?
Another
I'm buying. I'm just fucking. I spent 150 on it last time. I think today is a day that you keep going with that. You keep going with that. So we bought that put is worth $34. I'm down 182. Oh, sorry, I bought for 182. I'm down 148. Would you buy? What's the current price of the S&P?
77.39.
77.39. It may be interesting actually to get 740 for like a week out. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're getting it at a discount now, but you also get more longevity out of this whole thing. So I would be looking at, so if I click trade options and we go for SPY, and we go for puts, and I buy to open. Right now it's the 5th. The 12th would be next Wednesday. Friday would be, which is most expiration days, is the 14th. So you're getting, wow, it's $5.70. That's crazy. Oh, sorry, that's at the current exercise price. So we're at 770. Let's pull up the chart. You have the chart pulled up. What is that line drawn at, Ray?
Previous all-time high.
Which is what? What's the number?
76.21.
76.21. So if we went down right now to 760, it's $230. What do you think the odds are that we go beneath? We get a rejection off of this. And let's look at like the past history breakouts of where we broke above all-time highs. I think actually, well, I don't know if all-time highs, but recent highs when we had that thing back in June. Sorry, it would have been June 2025. You see that on the chart right there? You're going to, oh yeah, right about there. See where we broke above that? I think like we had a couple days of including a huge breakout. The breakout went up to 62.78 and then just pulled back to 62. It also attempted to break out even higher, went all the way up to 6,400 and then retested the breakout line. But it didn't go below it. So any put below that, I guess, would seem like low odds, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Like if this is like a true breakout, it looks like whenever you go through an all-time high in recent history on the S&P, it's just been up and to the right.
It's 63 cents on a 760 put.
I mean, here's another like small breakout on the daily over a previous all-time high that then had a pretty far crash. But I mean, that's not a long time frame.
Well, I like that. That actually may be a good example. That was the previous all-time high.
This was the all-time high on September 22nd, broke out on October 1st, and then with 1010 nuked.
Oh, that was 1010?
Yeah. And then
I kind of like that option. So how far did we pull back? We're buying basically like essentially the thought that we get a counter dump, and I think that may actually be. So how far down did it go from that? I mean, we attempted this before, and within days, we saw it go from the last time we went to 7,600, it dropped down to 72. So that's down 400 from there. That would get us down at 7,300 this time or something like that. Even
3% drop.
I kind of like this, like going way out of the money on so it's 18 cents for 750 on Friday, which would be like perfectly timing the market. And then, so, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna put $100. So if I bought like, maybe I buy 3 of these. I'm gonna buy 3. So spend $57 buying Friday puts at 750, which is like super low odds, right? But if we win this, it like you get a high ROI. So I'll buy one of those, and
For
then
this Friday?
yeah, for this Friday, 8-7. That's like a crazy outcome, right?
That is a crazy outcome.
But the thing is if you get those swings, that well, actually, I guess 750 is ridiculous. Is there any like 755? Yeah, there is. So you can go like 755, and those are 30 cents. So I'll put 2 of them at $60, and then I'm gonna buy out for next week. 8-7. Let's give it to the 14th. It's $100. I'm gonna buy one of those. So I buy one of those. Why is it giving me a weird quote here? No, I'm just gonna do market. Boom. So I'm spending $170 again. Is this, dude? This is just pure gambling. I've done it twice, so I'd end up losing 300. You know, fuck it. I'm reducing my exposure here, and let's maybe reduce this to like 747. Okay, so I'm doing 747 end of next week. That's 88 cents. I'm doing this week 755. All right, $120 probably down the drain. You know, at some point I'm going to be right about this, right?
I don't know. I mean, this is like a pretty crazy breakout, but I could see this. I can see it pulling back.
Someone says doing the opposite of whatever you're doing. Well, we have a thing to speak about how I keep getting it right every single time coming in momentarily. Let's dive in.
You want to do Hammyverse?
Oh, Hammyverse. Yeah, bring them up. First of all, shout out to Hammyverse for partnering with us today. They did a board takeover. They have a stream going live in 2 hours. Do we have a link for that actually, Ray?
You can find them on X at Hammyverse, HAMIEVERSE. They've got the broadcast there up on their X page.
They're doing conversations with founders in this space. Do you have kind of an understanding of what's going on with Hammyverse?
Yeah, so they're in a number of different kind of avenues. They have an NFT collection. They are in the TCG space as well. But mainly they want us to get across the message that they're basically, their core thesis is wanting to help people out genuinely. They do basically charitable events. I think they raised $1 million for a charitable event recently. So they do a lot of like giving back to underserved. And then they're basically have this, it's called Break the Wheel, where they do founder talks and basically looking to give anyone who's listening either like kind of physical, mental, spiritual, or financial kind of value throughout their different speaker lineup. So they're looking to give back to the community. They have a pretty tight-knit community from what I've seen, NFT collection, TCG, and also this Breaking the Wheel series is what they want us to highlight.
They're not creating entertainment for entertainment's sake, but doing their best to build an ecosystem where people can have fun, connect, learn something, and ideally walk away better off than they were before. Shout out to Hammyverse. We are wildly grateful that they partnered with us for this show. Really excited. And I'm sure, hopefully, we end up partnering with them in the future. Shout out to
Their
Hammyverse.
website's kind of fire too, hammyverse.com.
You want to check it out? Okay, very
interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, pretty cool art on these. They have like these little mini clips episodes as well. So like in the IP space as well, but continuing to build, spin around. Let me turn this volume off. It's a little loud. Well, you get all the information you need there on their NFT collections, TCG, and make sure you tune in today to their first Breaking the Wheel founder lineup talk. And we'll be we'll shoot out a tweet, remind people to check that out later. So follow Nick as well and keep an eye out for that.
Shout out to Hammyverse, guys. Really appreciate your support. 1 second. Yeah.
I like the graphic for the takeover they used too. It's a nice one.
So yeah, this is honestly, it has like the vibes of the. It's pretty cool. It's like they have the old NFT vibes, basically, but doing it from a media standpoint, which we know something about. So really appreciate Hamiverse, and yeah, we'll be tweeting it out. Let's dive into the next story. SpaceX posted its first quarterly earnings. I did a whole news video about this yesterday, Ray. If you ask me a question about it, you're not shown on the screen. Oh, there it is. If you were to ask me about this, look, I know everything there is to know about SpaceX at this point in time. They delivered $7.81 billion in total revenue, up 92% year over year, and nearly $1 billion ahead of the $6.93 billion Wall Street consensus. The AI segment alone brought in $2.56 billion, up 247% from a year ago, above the $2.18 billion estimate, with the company holding $100 billion in cash, crazy, and $47 billion in order backlog. However, investors dumped the stock after SpaceX revealed $18.4 billion in Q2 capital expenditures, up from just $2.8 billion in Q2 2025. Sell pressure is on the horizon as over $100 billion pre-IPO shares will be released for trading tomorrow. Holy shit. I mean, this is going to be absolute bloodbath. Maybe it's a bullish unlock. Maybe it experiences the same thing as Pump Fund. Currently trading down 7% on the day. It's actually up on the day, but down from the open because after our trading last night, they dumped the shit out of this. They dumped the shit out of it, you know? So we'll see how this plays out and pans out over this week. Honestly, I think is going to be interesting to see how things trade, and I'm genuinely curious to see what happens. As for dude, this is a crazy. What do you think about these earnings, Ray? How are you feeling as a shareholder?
As a shareholder?
Yeah, you're a shareholder in SpaceX.
I'm not like looking at day-to-day earnings and putting stock in it at this point. It's literally in my retirement account where my thesis on it is just like over a long enough period, this is going to be a good stock to hold.
You know, Ray, I might do another trade.
What do you got?
SpaceX.
Oh God.
I think what?
I just tried to get back into the call sheet and I like overrode it. So don't exit the call sheet.
Okay. Ray's the best producer around. Don't worry, I'll guide you through this, Ray. You can rely on me. Real quick, I'm logging in, and yeah, I think buying an extra, I'll DCA into this bad boy.
Why don't you sell a put?
Fuck that. Oh, sell a put. That'd be giving the option to sell.
Option to buy.
Sorry, giving the option for them to sell to me. No,
Yeah.
I'm selling an option to sell. I like that idea. How much are
with an unlock coming up, you could DCA in a little bit lower here, and if it doesn't drop, then
that's a pretty interesting thing. What are options looking like right now?
you take a look.
I can also pull it up because I'm going to log in back into my brokerage account, and we're going to find options on. Actually, I don't know. Are SpaceX options live?
I think so.
Yes, they are. It looks like they are out. So I'm going to sell to open a put at. Right now, the stock's trading at 112. Dude, you can sell 2-day puts at $280. Although that would mean that I'm getting 100 of these. That's pretty fucking
expensive. You got to put up.
That's me investing 10 grand. Yeah. All right, Ray's option strategy is a little sketchy. But actually, I like your approach here. I can always exit the position if I get assigned.
Right.
I think
you lose 10 grand. Like, where are you happy buying 10 grand worth of SpaceX? Is that $95?
I probably wouldn't buy 10 grand of SpaceX if it gets assigned, I'll probably sell some of the stocks, but it's an interesting way of doing it. The reality is at 105, I can generate $137 for 2 days, which is kind of an interesting place to be, because like I don't think there's nothing that's going to happen that's going to send it below 105 in the next couple of days.
Well, more shares are being released to early investors tomorrow than were released at IPO.
That's right.
That's why I'm looking down in like the 90s.
Well, I'm not fucking with this then. This is a bad, your put trade is, I don't love.
That's fair.
So we'll move on from that. The biggest thing that I'll say about the SpaceX situation, there were a couple of things that stood out to me. One, their whole situation that they had with, what did they have a situation with, right? With X. X revenue was down 17%. That was one thing that was a standout for me, which, given that Google and Meta continue to have growth on their ad revenue, it's kind of crazy that X has not figured out. It's not crazy. It's not surprising because we all use X and understand how difficult it is to navigate the content, but and like actually perform well. I have performance issues, Ray. And so that side of things is interesting. And then the other side of SpaceX having challenges is that they have two major customers here. Basically, they have Anthropic and Google that accounted for over 35% of their revenue. And that's like a wild thing. That's future booked revenue also. And I don't know like how much of that's going to settle over the coming like 12 months. They really have consolidation risk, which is something that you run into. They said that their payback period on AI investments is 12 months. And I just don't know how that's even possible. If that is possible, that's a fucking insane position. And I mean, they're talking about $1 trillion in revenue. But dude, Elon was doing Elon things with some of his numbers on the call yesterday. He was talking about making $1 trillion in revenue by 2027. And I mean, they made, how much was this quarter? What was the total number? 100. Sorry, what was it?
Yeah, the call sheet. I don't anymore.
7.8 billion. He's at 7.8 billion in revenue. And he's saying by 2027, they're going to be at $1 trillion. I mean, dude, that's a wild fucking thing to say on a call.
It's like, yo, I just ran a mile. Next week, I'm going to be able to run a marathon. No training at all.
Like, that's a crazy thing. They have 100 billion in cash, which is a crazy place to be, but they're also investing like wild. And the fact that it's understandable that the fact that they spent $18 billion in capital expenditures, which is literally like they're just doing forward investing in the AI space is where all of their capital is going. And then the space side of things, they lost clients basically. They had a reduction in total number of customers. Let me see the thing that I had here in terms of their space division, what the revenue situation was there. Space is shrinking. Launches down from 46 to 38 year over year. Mass to orbit down 65 to 485 tons. Operating loss on SpaceX itself widened to 542 million. So his space business is losing money. His AI business is losing money. And, well, it's not on paper losing money because they got these two major clients that came in. The only profitable business is Starlink, which has 1.6 billion in operating income, which is up 79% year over year. But you're using it to fund all these additional things. When you look at Meta or you look at Google, they have massive fucking profits. They have 54. What's Meta's quarterly earnings? Like if you go to Meta, let's see, their quarterly earnings I think is like 50 billion. Financials. Total revenue yearly is 134. And no, sorry. Trailing 12 month, 228. So my number is spot on, actually underappreciated. So their revenue is 55 billion per quarter, something in that range, and it continues to grow. Google, comparably high. SpaceX is 7.8 billion. Less than 20%, less than 15% of the size of Facebook, Meta, Google, yet they're spending in a comparable way. And so Meta ran into issues before. They actually just bounced back. If you pull up the Meta stock, Ray, you'll see that they bounced off of the concern over all of these different situations. Like they bounced back off the bottom, but it looks like today they're having a pullback. Is that weekly or daily?
Here's the weekly.
No, you're on the monthly.
That's the monthly. That's what I said, right?
Give me the daily.
I was on the daily and it was too choppy to get a read on. Here's the weekly.
So basically where you're at right now is you're fine. All of the tech companies are investing in AI. There's a lot of concerns associated with it. SpaceX is on the bleeding edge of that. He's taking as much capital as he can to try and catch up to Sam Altman. And he is heavily ego-driven to a degree that I actually think could run into issues for SpaceX. I'm almost regretting the share that I just bought. But who gives a shit? It's $100 whatever dollars. But I actually think that this is a tough uphill battle that they have. Elon Musk has had a lot of tough uphill battles, but I think his existence of business, like his operating mind, is different than when he was like slaving away to get SpaceX off the ground, when he was slaving away to get Tesla off the ground. And so now we just have this circumstance basically where it's not, what was I going to say? He's spending a lot of money at a loss, and he's back to back up against the wall scenario, and he's investing like nobody's business. A lot of that's with him hopping on and talking about how much weight they're going to put on the moon. That was on the call. His $1 trillion in revenue. He didn't mention Mars. So yeah, I don't know. It's Elon being Elon. You can't bet against Elon, generally speaking, but they are in a precarious situation. Let's dive into the next one, which I would like to wear the crown for this one, which is Shopify's reported second quarter revenue, which was at $3.58 billion, up 34% year over year, and ahead of the $3.45 billion estimate, while gross merchandise volume hit $115.5 billion, up 32%. Shop jumped over 25%, reaching approximately $155 per share, and the company guided for low 30% revenue growth in Q3, well above the 26% that people expected. I'd keep fucking buying this company. It looks like it's on a daily pullback. I love Shopify. My only regret is not having bought more every time that I looked at this company. One of the most bearish narratives that people have had is basically AI replacing SaaS. And I think that's kind of the current position that people have had associated with this. But Shopify absolutely fucking printing here. I'm gonna buy more Shop right now, and this has been one that is to hold. I just keep regretting it every time I don't buy this. I'm in for another $1,500 just because I've fucked up this trade so bad. But after Ray brought up TJ Maxx and me missing out on that chart,
TJ Maxx is amazing.
I mean, this is so insane. It's actually at 159 off 170. Dude, that's another one. I'm going in on Do you own TJ Maxx?
I don't own any TJ Maxx. Who's going to be the CEO when they break their yearly streak since 2009 of having a green year?
Are they going to break their green year?
Not now. Doesn't look like it, but can you imagine being that CEO? Just 19 years or 17 years of green candles, and you're the first one in there who has a red year.
Dude, that would be painful. I just bought some. So I just bought Shopify and I just bought TJ Maxx. Things are getting exciting over here, Ray.
People talk about the AI is killing SaaS, but could you make the argument that Shopify can just implement AI and extend their lead in the sector? Like, what AI is killing Shopify that Shopify can't build themselves?
I think it's more so people try to avoid costs. And so that's where AI is really operating, and I think continues to have the ability to operate. But the fact that they're still growing at the pace that they are is absolutely incredible. That actually may be one that I do a video on today. Is Shopify's earnings, because I mean this is just such a huge story. So let's dive into the next one. Over in AI infrastructure land, Cloudflare launched Cloudflare wallets and Cloudflare.pay on August 4th. We were just discussing a lot of this stuff, Ray. Isn't that crazy? Like the timing on this? Giving AI agents a stablecoin wallet to autonomously pay for APIs and online content using the X402 micropayment protocol. Users can claim a wallet handle now with full funding and virtual wallet features for agentic shopping rolling out in the coming months. Did you claim your username?
I didn't.
Oh, I did.
You got Choose Rich?
I got Choose Rich, baby. Not that it matters. Like, who gives a shit about this? I mean, talk about the least exciting username claim ever.
Shopify wallet. Your agents everyone will know it's your agents out there.
Your Cloudflare wallet. The other thing, though, that we were discussing, we've been doing a lot of coding on the back end of the business, basically around how we receive payments from clients and other elements of that, basically. And something that you mentioned there, I think, is what would I call it? We were discussing wallet integration, how you do that programmatically, and what's a secure way to do that, and a lot of the issues that you run into with building a replacement for things like Privy and these other tools that exist. And Alchemy actually delegated a lot of that functionality to Privy. If you check out their documentation, for those that aren't aware, Alchemy is a developer tool which essentially enables. It's a developer tool which enables developers to interact with blockchains, basically in a programmatic way, and so in a reliable way. And one of the things that they have is wallets, and they've worked on these products, and then they deprecated it as they gave it over to Privy. So I don't know. It's a pretty cool thing. A lot of people were talking about it on the timeline yesterday. I think people's excitement over it is heavily due to the fact that there wasn't much news. But yeah, still cool stuff. And the fact that X402, which is really about crypto integrations and crypto being the default payment rail for agents, very cool things being done on that front. Including MoonPay just rolled out a feature associated with that I think is very interesting. So yeah, a lot of cool things being done over there. Switching gears, Anthropic publicly confirmed that for the first time, it's building an in-house silicon team to design custom chips for Claude. Hiring engineers at salaries ranging from $320K to $485K. The company says it will co-design hardware and AI models under a multi-chip strategy while continuing to rely on chips from AWS, Google, NVIDIA, and AMD, with Samsung reported as potential manufacturing partner. This is a crazy situation. I don't know. This is like another stage in the AI bubble, potentially. Obviously, they want to reduce costs. But one of the ways of doing this, well, to be fair, one of the ways of reducing costs is at the chip level. If they can get co-located, basically as people go out and build the, the data centers, I think Anthropic's going to end up co-locating a large portion of the stuff that they do. And so that's that's an interesting thing in the sense that they don't need to take on the cost of the actual infrastructure, but instead build the compute that's more efficient. Google has been doing this for years. They ended up building data centers. Meta ended up building data centers so that they could gain efficiencies of scale. And I think the chips definitively is the first place to start. And it was pretty cool early on when Meta and Google were both operating on the chip level. And now Google has some of the most interesting, they have TPUs instead of GPUs, I believe is what it's called, where they're able to gain further efficiency, specifically around AI training operations. And so they're, I guess, going to try and architect a level above TPUs, because essentially Google is taking margin out of Anthropic with this. So one area that you want to be operating is on the efficiency side, efficiencies of scale and reducing costs. So I can understand Anthropic doing that. They're not idiots. How quickly do I think they develop chip efficiency? I think that's something that's a multi-year time horizon, and they're operating in a place which is honestly very competitive, and we don't know where things are going to end up with open source models and everything else and profitability of these AI tools. I mean, frankly, dude, I don't know. It would be reasonable for us to spend a couple $1,000s a month on Claude or Chat GPT. We do, I think, collectively. Do you expense your subscription, Ray?
No, I don't expense it right now.
Well, you should. How much are you just doing the $20 a month one?
No, I'm on Max, but I mean, I use it for personal stuff too, so we got to talk about it.
Okay. Well, anyways, you should expense it. But sorry for putting that on the podcast. But the bottom line is, I think organizationally, it makes sense that you would be spending a couple grand a month on these because the efficiency gain is quite large in some ways, and we're all discovering how to use AI properly. Anyways. Let's jump on to the what were you going to say?
I was going to say, how long until our stream board turns into building its own chips?
We're very far away from that.
Our stream board is now in the process of generating and manufacturing its own chips to power it.
Let's actually skip this story and go into the real breaking one, the Google one that you were discussing, Ray.
The DeepMind one?
Yeah, you want to kind of give a rundown of it, share it, and give a rundown?
Popped up right as the stream started. I can talk about it, but essentially, let me get it up. Google DeepMind CEO stepped down. Demis Hassabis stepping down as CEO of Google DeepMind, and Jeff Dean is leaving Google to start his own company. Two people who are very much so responsible for what has been built over at Google DeepMind are leaving. So people are saying,
I don't think it's Hassabis. I think it's Hassabis.
Hassabis.
I think.
Demis Hassabis?
Demis. No, you may be right about the last name. Demis is what I always hear people saying. Yeah, Demis. And if it's Demis, then I would assume it's Hassabis.
Why does the pronunciation of the first name affect the last name?
The second? Well, because if you're like Damis or Hassabis or Hassabis, I would assume that you'd be like Damis Hassabis. I don't know how to say it, dude. I have no idea. Anyways, the bottom line is, dude, that is a huge situation. Well, hold on. So what is this? It says Hassabis will add the title of chief scientist for Google's parent company, Alphabet, and also continue to lead Isomorphic Labs. Okay, so this is the drug discovery thing. He's been really focused on this. This is not actually, this is a huge story actually from the standpoint. It's really fucking exciting what he's doing with the DNA stuff. I don't know if you've watched, did you watch that documentary about AlphaGo?
I did.
And remember like his whole, I mean, basically that was like at the forefront of AI when he was working on that AlphaGo documentary. And it was pretty exciting what they did. And now as part of that, they had done the protein folding stuff. Wasn't that in that documentary?
I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched that.
So basically, Demis they were like, yo, if we can do this, they started talking about biological stuff, basically, biology and chemistry, and what they thought about on the biology side specifically was DNA sequencing, and they were like, well, if the process is about protein folds, can we just sequence the entire DNA? Like, can we whatever it is? I don't know. I'm not a biologist. I don't understand anything about it. But he said, let's sequence the whole DNA thing. And that was a huge breakthrough. And now where he's taken a lot of time, I saw him clipped in an interview. Someone was asking him at one of it wasn't TED Talks, but it was some conference. Someone who was there was having a conversation with Demis. And what they said was, yo, Demis, was good, was Gucci. And he was like, yeah, so we're working, like, what are things looking like basically on curing all disease? And that's kind of what the protein folding stuff does. And that gets us down that path. And I think that has become his reason for existing in the world. And there's no doubt that this guy could, if he doesn't have a Nobel Prize yet, I genuinely think that him and his team are going to probably end up with the Nobel Prize, because we're at this moment in time where we're on the cusp of basically AI transforming science. And the fact that this is happening is also incredible. I think he is in an incredible place in time to be able to just have such a huge impact, despite the fact that, like the NHS and all these other things are getting destroyed objectively by the Trump administration, where all the funding was pulled on a lot of the science stuff. He's operating at the forefront, and Google's providing funding for it, and that's awesome. And I'm like really excited about this. So it's pretty cool that he's doing this. The fact that he wasn't able to guide some of these other elements, like they put as a footnote here in Axios, Gemini's 3.5 Pro is months behind. What does it say? I can't see that next line. Sources telling
sources telling it in part due to low morale.
Yeah, so I think they just need to reorganize. And Demis is obviously obsessed on this other part. Dude, Google hires a lot of like PhD people, and that's someone who he strikes me as. But PhD people can't run a business. And I think that's like, they can get you over the hump, but they get you over the hump with the science. And a lot of what that documentary is, I mean, if you watch it, that was a very geeky documentary. There's another one that it reminds me of, is when they talk about, I forget the particle, not Higgs boson. Yeah.
Higgs boson particle.
Yeah. Particle fever. That was another documentary that was like super fucking geeky, basically. And it was talking about the difference between practical physics and theoretical physics, basically. And like seeing the theoretical physicists play ping pong while they like theorized on the way that the world is such a wild place. And to have people like that running like a business is not where you want them to be. You want them to be in laboratories and places like that. And they did. I remember clips of the Google one and AlphaGo. They had built an entire building like around this AI thing that he was overlooking. And they had like setups where they would go and like build a virtual room like a TV studio would, where they would go around and experiment with the camera to like capture stuff. It's like where science and like money come together in such a cool fucking way. And like, I can't imagine being somebody like that, but I can imagine it would be like a dream fucking come true. And I think we need people like that to be focused on like big ideas, not the quarterly earnings sort of situation. And Google, of all places, can really kind of afford that sort of stuff and incubate a lot of those ideas. And seeing that, I've been very bullish on Google. Through the end of this year is questionable because they're still selling equity into the market in a way that MicroStrategy does. But I'll be interested to see how this like all pans out. And shout out to Demis. That guy, I hope to God, changes the world, especially as someone who's going through their own health shit. I hope this guy, solves a lot of these things. So shout out to Demis. I got nothing else, Ray, to discuss. I'm ready to wrap. We'll be back on Friday, and I'm going to do a news video here again about the Shopify earnings.
One more shout out to Hammyverse with a stream takeover today. Follow them.
Huge fucking shout out to Hammyverse. Guys, we really appreciate your support. We're going to be posting about their live stream that they have. You want to bring that up real quick, Ray, the tweet from them?
I think they might be live now, so you can leave here and check it out over there.
There you go.
The first BTW talk
is not showing right
now. Evie Mux is gonna take a beating after this stream. There you go. BTW talk number 1, live right now. Follow Hammyverse, HAMIE verse, VERSE on Twitter. Big shout out. Thank you for taking over the stream today. Check them out.
Let's go. What a great show. You're welcome. Oh, shit. I just exited out of something on the computer. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Why don't you tell everyone goodbye, and then I'll cue us out. I guess you need music, too.
Adios, everybody. Appreciate you guys for joining. We'll see you on Friday. Got the music. I don't know what this is.
Sounds like Enya.
Enya? That'd be a
I didn't listen to that. Such a good song.